What can be done about a swirling mass of plastic in the ocean called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? Today, we'll talk about one young entrepreneur's quest to collect the biggest pieces of plastic and haul them back to land.
Welcome to Plain English, the podcast that goes at the right speed for English language learners. Listen now and read the transcript online at plainenglish.com. Now, here's Jeff, your host for today's episode.
Hello once again, and welcome to another edition of Plain English, the perfect podcast for practicing English through current events. I'm Jeff, the producer is JR, and this is episode number 135 for Thursday, March 7th, 2019. As always, a full word-for-word transcript is available on the website at plainenglish.com/135. And that transcript includes instant translations from English to Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, and French. Quick reminder about some extra free resources for Plain English listeners. If you sign up to get our episode emails, you'll not only get the summary of every new episode, but you'll also get links to English articles about the main topic. So once you've learned a little bit about any given topic, you can then read some more about it in English. And that's not all. The emails also have an explanation of an additional word or phrase from the program. Today's show has lots of good phrases in it, so I don't know which one I'll choose for the emails, but you don't want to miss these. 2 episodes a week means 104 new English words and phrases that our email subscribers get, and you can join by going to plainenglish.com/mail, M-A-I-L. Once more, just go to plainenglish.com/mail and enter your details to get these episode emails. It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and it has been an object of fascination in the media and in environmental circles lately, in large part due to the efforts of a young Dutch entrepreneur, Boyan Slat. More on him in a minute. First, let's talk about what the garbage patch is and what it isn't. It's a zone in the Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and California where plastic waste has accumulated and where it swirls around due to the movements of ocean currents. The area is about twice the size of the U.S. state of Texas, and it has plastic from all kinds of sources, mostly discarded fishing nets, but also consumer plastics like bottles, tennis shoes, toothbrushes, toys, and things like that. All the things we throw away. Because of the way the winds and the ocean currents work, the plastics are brought out to this area from Asia and North America, and they just swirl around out there, around and around, never washing back to shore. Due to its name, the Great Pacific garbage patch, people think it's like a big mountain of solid plastics, but that's not really the case. By the time most plastics reach that area in the ocean, they've been broken down into much smaller pieces called microplastics. These are less than 5 millimeters in length, so most of what's actually out there is not visible to the naked eye. A recent study estimated that there are 79,000 tons of plastic in the garbage patch and 1.8 trillion little pieces. And much of that plastic is not floating on the surface. It's suspended in the water between the surface and about 30 feet down. One scientist aptly described this as the smog of the sea. The smog of the sea. That's a good analogy. Still, there was enough plastic out there for Charles Moore to see. He discovered the patch when sailing his yacht between Hawaii and California. The patch has been mostly the preserve of environmentalists and conservationists, but it hadn't really caught the public's attention until the last few years. In 2012, an 18-year-old from the Netherlands, Boyan Slat, gave a TED Talk about the topic. And in his TED Talk, he described an idea he had while scuba diving in Greece. Instead of going out and trying to collect all the plastic, why not build a contraption that stands relatively still and let the ocean currents bring the plastic to us and trap it as it goes by? Well, the video went viral, and pretty soon Slat had $2 million in donations from over 160 nations, and that was just within the first few months. He dropped out of college, threw himself into his idea. Late last year, by then 23 years old, Slat's contraption set sail from San Francisco. He named it Wilson. It was a 2,000-foot plastic boom, which would be suspended out in the ocean by 4 huge anchors. And beneath the boom was a skirt that would collect the plastic as the ocean currents passed by. The idea is that this whole contraption would be moving slowly or not at all, while the ocean current would be moving quickly, and that is how it would be able to catch and collect the plastic as it moves by. Slat said that a ship could go out and pick up the accumulated trash and haul it back to land. It didn't work out exactly as planned. The prototype, called Wilson, didn't collect as much plastic as planned, and a big part of Wilson actually broke off. Ironically, the crew of a ship monitoring Wilson collected more plastic just by hauling fishing nets out of the ocean in their spare time. They got more plastic out than Wilson did, and that was the device designed to collect the plastic. Around New Year's 2019, a ship had to tow Wilson back to land for repairs. As one person said, The sea is an unrelenting trial judge. The Ocean Cleanup Project, which is the nonprofit that launched Wilson, it is not without its critics. Some scientists said that they should have done more testing in controlled environments before rushing to build and launch a prototype. Others said that the nonprofit's biggest strength is attracting publicity and raising money. The strongest criticism, however, is that the best thing for the oceans may not be to collect the big bits of plastic that make it to the garbage patch. Only about 1% of the plastic in all the oceans is even in this one place, and only a fraction of that is big enough to be collected by a device like Wilson. The best place to start, some people say, is by preventing plastic from getting into the ocean in the first place. There are also some worries that any cleanup device might actually hurt the marine life that lives near the surface of the ocean. Slat and his team have taken the setbacks and the criticism in stride. They are now planning to release a second version that, they say, will address the setbacks they experienced. And they have listened to a lot of their technical critics who predicted the project would fail at the outset. Slat acknowledges that preventing trash from getting into the ocean is an important priority. But he says that doesn't mean that we shouldn't work on getting the garbage that's already in the ocean out again. Part of the urgency of his message is that so much plastic is winding up in the wrong places, namely back in the food chain. When small sea creatures ingest microplastics, then the fish that eat them will ingest it, and so on. Studies have found traces of plastics in shrimp, table salt, beer, and in 84% of the tap water around the world. There might be a little sour grapes among his critics. Sour grapes is when you criticize because you're a little bit jealous. You can imagine scientists, highly technical people, working their whole careers on these issues. They see a kid at 18 years old with very little training become a YouTube celebrity, raise millions of dollars, launch a huge prototype, get showered with media attention and praise, only to see the thing fail when finally put to the test. But I think you have to give some credit to Mr. Slat for having the vision, hiring the technical people, and trying his idea out. Hopefully, his nonprofit learns all the lessons of the past and builds something that's truly remarkable and successful. They say they'll have something ready in the next few years. Before we get to the vocabulary word today, I wanted to remind you about our partner Audible, which is offering Plain English listeners a free audiobook. I've heard from so many people that you have long commutes, an hour every day, 2 hours every day sometimes you spend in the car. And listen, JR and I try hard, but we can't fill that kind of a commute every week. So you might try listening to an audiobook. And if you join Audible, you'll get access to one full audiobook every month. An audiobook is like 12 hours in length, sometimes more, so you'll never be without something good to listen to. If you've never tried an audiobook before, then today is your lucky day because Audible is offering a free audiobook just for signing up for a free trial subscription. Audible is a paid subscription, but you can try it out for a month for free. And in that month, you can download one audiobook free and keep it forever. If you don't want to pay, that's fine. Just cancel before your first month is up. Simple as that. And they have great books in English, but also in your own language. So check that out. Just go to plainenglish.com/book, B-O-O-K, plainenglish.com/book. Today's expression is to take something in stride. A stride is like a big, purposeful step forward. And when you take something in stride, it means you're not allowing it to affect you negatively. You handle something negative in a calm manner. Here's how you originally heard it. Boyan Slat, the young entrepreneur, took the initial failure of Wilson in stride. Some people might have gotten discouraged. Some people might even have given up. Some people might have allowed the initial setbacks and all the criticism he received to affect them negatively. But Boyan Slat took it all in stride. He's going to learn from his mistakes and come back stronger next time. He's taking it all in stride. You remember the story about the polar vortex, all the cold weather that hit Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee? A lot of people stayed home. I know people here in Chicago, they didn't go outside for 2 or 3 days. They were not taking the polar vortex in stride. But I'll tell you who was. A lot of the public safety officers, like firemen, policemen, hospital workers, the repairmen for the electric and gas companies, they all had to work, and they took the cold weather in stride. They were not about to let some low temperatures stop them from doing their important work in keeping us safe, keeping the lights on, and responding to emergencies. They took it all in stride. Remember the story from last week about the plane that got stuck in Iran? The passengers on that plane had to unexpectedly spend the whole night in a hotel in Iran. Talk about an unexpected detour. But most of them took it in stride. They enjoyed the food and the hospitality, and they were on their way the next day. You all know I travel quite a bit for work these days. Since October, I've been on the road almost every week. And when you travel that much, you know there's one unchanging fact of life. You're going to face delays now and then. That could be from equipment failure, weather delays, whatever. But the important thing is to just take it in stride. don't get all upset. Come prepared with a book, with an audiobook from Audible at plainenglish.com/book, or come prepared with some work to do. Call ahead, let your family or coworkers know you'll be late, and just settle down for the delay. There's no sense yelling and screaming at the airline employees like some people do in the airports. It's better to just take it in stride and move on. All right, happy Carnival for those of you in Brazil. Don't forget about Audible if you haven't already signed up for your free audiobook. Details of that are at plainenglish.com/book. Oh, and you are not going to want to miss Monday's episode. Have you heard of Marie Kondo? She is the Japanese organizing consultant with a new show on Netflix and an international best-selling book. Her special method for tidying up, organizing your house, it has taken the world by storm, and that's what we're going to talk about in Monday's episode. It's funny, and you'll really enjoy it. See you then.